This week, the topic is reporting and finances. So we're just going to take you, we have heaps of the reports available in the JustGo system, and Naveed is just going to show us what's the purpose of which report and which report you should run for your membership, inquiry, or your club details, stuff, and etc. So over to you, Naveed.
Yep. Do I have permission to share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just came up now. Right. Awesome. Okay. So, right. To start with, we'll start off with club finances first. So club finances is essentially your all payment central. So it's a dashboard where you can see how much money is coming in, how much are for fees, how much is for events, for memberships, or any other products. On the payment summary, as soon as you log in, your club will show up here. If you're a zone admin, your zone will come here, but you also have a switcher to go through other clubs. If you are a club administrator of multiple clubs, you'll also see a switcher, and you'll only see the clubs that are that you are an admin of. Initially, the dashboard kind of shows all the payment summary and the payment breakdown. You are able to change the view. So initially, it starts off at current month. You can change it to last month, current year, and last year. So this is limited to the dashboard. Dashboard is essentially a snapshot of where you are at the moment. If you want more detailed information, you need to go on to club reports, which we'll go into right after club finances. Every payment, every transaction that is processed in the system will show up here. As you know, JustGo system allows for multi-transactional, multi-merchant system, which means when a customer goes in, they purchases a membership for the club, but the system ensures that they are purchasing the state and the national component as well. On club finances, we didn't want to put all transactions in. It will only show money that is relevant to your organization. So if you're switched to a state, you'll see the state. If you're at a zone level, you'll see the money that is coming to the zone. And if you're a club, then in that case, you'll only see the money that is coming to the club of that transaction. One thing to kind of mention here, each of these payment receipts are single transactions, which means if there is a family purchasing memberships for maybe, let's say, 2 or 3 members all in one go, they're paying just one, with one card only once. In that instance, that will only show up as one line. So every time the card is processed or card details are entered, it shows up a line, irrespective of how many memberships or how many items are actually in the card that is being processed. Please do stop me at any point in time if you have any questions, or else I'll just keep on going. So initially, what you will see here is the pair name and type. So the pair name is the one that we are a bit more interested in than any of the other ones. So the pair name is basically the person who's actually paying. So it might be the dad who's paying for the mom and the son, or it might be a club administrator who is paying on behalf of the mom and the dad. So maybe the member has paid cash and the club admin is actually processing it with their bank card. Once you go on to advanced settings, it's the gear icon here. When you click on that, it actually shows details of it. So this is the test data, because we're not allowed to share data between clubs. So we're just showing you test data at the moment. So this is JustGo test. So this is the member name, member last name, member ID, payment. So how the payment kind of looks like. The item that are purchased by the member. So this is the payer. So JustGo test. So this is probably the club admin who paid on behalf of this member, Luke. So on the brackets, you will actually see who this product was purchased for. You will see the product, and every different products will show up as different lines within a payment receipt. You might even see 2 club and try if the membership is for Luke and maybe for another member. You'll be able to see a breakdown. So the price, if they received any discounts and incurred any surcharges, the net, the tax. If you've decided to set up taxes on the system, you can do them from the membership management or event management while setting up a membership or a ticket. The gross and the amount refunded. So it's not been refunded yet, so it shows up at 0. You'll also kind of see a summary here. So amount received and amount refunded. So it all shows on a neat, tiny dashboard within a dashboard. Refunding is pretty easy. You just click on refund. So you can refund at line level. So let's say multiple products were purchased and multiple lines kind of showed up here. So you wanted to just refund come and try, but you didn't want to refund the rest. That's fine. You can do it at line level. Or if you wanted to refund the entire transaction, you are able to refund click on refund all to refund everything all in one go. At which point in time, the amount refunded will update, and this breakdown will kind of update itself. So you will see amount received and then amount refunded. So that's pretty much it for the dashboard. We do have a simple search feature here where you can actually type the name of the member, the person who paid, or an amount, and it will kind of go through all the records that is being displayed here and then try and find all the matches. One thing to note here that it will only look for exact matches. So I have 15.49 here. If I type 1011 or 1, it won't actually show because it looks for exact matches, because it looks at so many things. It is only able to return exact matches. Any questions here before we move on to reports?
I have a question.
Yeah, should go for it.
When you have one that has a status of payment failed because the amount is incorrect, does that just sit there because they've then gone and done another payment?
So there's multiple reasons a payment might fail. So if you click on the gear icon, you should be able to see the status or some explanation. A payment might fail because of they might have entered the incorrect card detail, or maybe they couldn't finish up the OTP on time. So some cards need like a one-time password code that the bank sends to the owner's phone through like a text message. So they might not have entered it on time, so the payment failed. So the system tries and report everything. So if there's a payment fail, it tries and report it to let you know that it has failed.
So does it just sit there forever and a day? You don't need to do anything with it?
No, you don't really need to do anything with it. If a payment has failed, membership will not, they purchase a membership, it wouldn't have applied on their record. The system has recognized it and didn't put a membership in on their member record.
Yeah, these are for event payments, but that's okay.
Okay.
Beautiful. Any other questions before we move on to reporting part? No, all good, Nabi.
Okay. All right. Okay, we'll move on to club reports. Right. Okay. So club reports, these are divided into two types. We tend to call them types. One is standard. So standard ones are the ones that came pre-packaged. So these are some that we JustGo developed, and JustGo customers across the world. We've got 100 and almost I think over 200 customers, 80,000 clubs with us, all over from four different continents. So we've worked with them, and these are the ones that we have developed over the years. So they always sit on standard reports. In addition, there is another tab called customer reports. Customer reports are essentially the reports that PCA and JustGo has agreed that in addition to standard reports, these are required. So these are the reports that will show up on your customer reports. So we'll go on through the standard reports first. I'm in the sandbox environment, so this is a testing area. So we'll go on to standard reports first, and then we'll kind of jump in very quickly into customer reports by going into the live system where all the customers' reports are actually available. I won't be able, because I'm in the testing area, I won't be able to run a report and show you the output, but you have access to club reports. You can run it at any time. If you want to, you can run it right now. So go along with me. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. Right, so first we'll take on credentials and qualifications. So qualifications in the system upfront, it works in a different way. So it works all through credentials. So the second report here won't be relevant. This is a legacy item and soon will be removed. Club members with credentials. So credentials is basically everything that a member or the system is set up as a credential. So for example, a credential can be a PCA coach qualification. A credential can be person's working with children check. It might be a person's horse registration. So everything that is actually configured in credentials, so everything that is found under the My Profile section under credentials is actually pulled from all the members from your clubs and put into a report, and that's the output that you're going to receive when you click on this Excel button. So it looks at all credentials. So this is like a very high level view. The customer report provides a more contextual view. We'll discuss more of it when we do the customer reports.
Hello.
Right. We'll soldier on. Next up is events. So on this one, it will show you all the attendees of all club events. So if you go onto your event management tile, every event has an EV reference number. So if you click on the Excel button and then enter the EV number or copy and paste the EV number, it shows you all the information regarding the attendees of that event. If you've chosen to set up an event as a shop, then in that case, you will see all the orders from your shop. Next up is finances. So these are the ones that we are mostly interested in today. At the moment in time, there's not really customer version or custom version of it, is because ideally what I suspect these actually cover pretty much everything that you will need in order to kind of go through the finances of your club. So the first one is all payment details. So on this one, when you click on the Excel button, it will generate a report of all payments made within a specified period of time. So it's nothing fancy, nothing which went to the bank account, which didn't, although it does show, but in order for this report is solely based on, you put in a start and an end date, and it shows you how much money JustGo helped you process for your club. So it's everything. It's from memberships to events to shop items. It's everything. Payment payout summary. I'm sure by now you all know that JustGo and Stripe are in partnership. So you all had to create a Stripe account. Stripe is essentially the card processor. So JustGo doesn't actually take in the person's card details, it's actually Stripe. So Stripe actually moves the money from the customer's bank account to your club's account. So initially it will store all the money on your Stripe account, on your Stripe dashboard. And by default, Stripe sets up a daily or a weekly payout where money from Stripe will move into your bank account. So if you've had the scheduled payout, we call it payout, which is because you're paying out from Stripe to your club's bank account. So if you set up the payout to be automatically done every week, in that case, if I purchase a membership on your club today, that money would probably show up on your bank account the next time you actually do the payout, which means a week from now. Or if you have it done daily, maybe you've set it up to be paid out in the evening. So if I pay at night, my money will show up on your bank account. It will show up on your Stripe dashboard immediately, but it will show up on your bank account a day later after it actually has paid out. So this report, in essence, it shows you all the money that actually has moved from Stripe to your club's bank account. So again, this one's a from and to date, but this one actually looks at the money that has moved, the date the money has moved, not the date of payment. So any questions on these? Were pretty major ones.
Call from 07211.
Don't answer it.
204.
Don't answer it. No.
So I'll keep moving on. Next up is the payment details by state. So this is for regional and states. You won't be able to run it, but it's mostly shows you all the for a state. It works for clubs as well. For your club or for a zone administrator, it will show you the zone administrator show you the current state of all the clubs within the zone. Next up is all payment summary. So this is in essence a similar report to all payment details. Instead of a line-by-line account, the summary will show you all the a summary of all the payments that has been received. So it will show you how much in total. So this refers to totals as opposed to a line-by-line breakdown on the all payment details. Subscription installments. So if your club has actually upgraded to JustGo Pro, in that case, subscription and installments becomes relevant, as PCA has sponsored JustGo Essential for our clubs. So we will skip this one. If your club has gone pro, please get in touch. Please do get in touch with Monel or JustGo support, and they'll be happy to kind of explain how subscriptions and installments actually work, how you can report on them.
We'll just ask the group, has anyone subscribed to the pro version over here? Because I did notice that some of the clubs in Victoria and New South Wales had gone for the pro version, so just want to make sure if anyone is on the call tonight does.
We're about to for Macedon. I'm not sure if she's done it yet.
Right, okay. Yeah, so once you have done it and used the subscription and installment, then it becomes relevant. So then it will be worth discussing about. So just get in touch with us if you have done it and if you have set up subscriptions and installment on your membership, and then we can help you out. Right, going forward.
Awesome. Payment payout details. So this one again is the line level. So the payment payout summary gives you everything that is like a totals of everything. So how much in total has moved from your Stripe account to your bank account. But this one gives you details. So each payment that has moved from your Stripe account to your bank account traced from the original transaction where money was collected from the member's account. in order to reconcile your bank amounts funds, I would think two of the ideal reports is, the first one is this one, the all payment details, because it will actually tell you all the money that has moved, that you've received, your club has received from all your members within a specified period of time. So maybe you run it for the last 3 months. And then this report actually if you scroll all the way to the right, the report will actually tell you the transaction number when it actually moves from your Stripe account to your bank account. So this is how you can know how much money has actually moved from your Stripe account to your bank account. The other way of doing it is going through the payment payout details. So maybe you run it for 3 months and you just measure how much money actually moved from your Stripe account to your bank account. There is a report, a user guide available on the PCA website. So it's called Finance Reporting and Payout Reconciliation. It takes you step by step on how reconciliations are made, how you can calculate reconciliations. So what does PDF mean? What does Excel mean? When you should actually use the Excel as opposed to PDFs. And it'll actually take you step by step on each of the reports and show you how to actually measure the funds between your Stripe, what is reported on JustGo, and what is actually showing up with your bank account. Apologies, because the restriction with data privacy, we're not able to show you live examples. It's just a lot of because it's a drop-in session, we needed live examples, and because of data privacy, only clubs of the member has granted permission to is allowed to see those information. So if you, what I would suggest is go to your club reports, run your finance reports, and then you'll be able to kind of get a better idea on how these are actually it works. And the user guide is always there on the PCA website to help you along. And it literally, it will go through each and every single detail. What is a PO number? What is an ACCT number? All those details. Moving onwards from finances, you've got the JustGo documents. So on transactions fees, we do charge VAT or GST. I do not think it's relevant for PCA because PCA has decided to charge transaction fees on top, which means a lot of organizations, what they do is they actually fund the transaction fee. So if, for example, if a membership is priced at $10, a lot of organizations say, allow the member to pay only $10 and we'll pay the $2 transaction fee on behalf of the member. PCA has not done this, but PCA has said if a membership is priced at $10, transaction fee is $2, please charge the member $12 and only transfer $10 to us. So a transaction fee is actually made up of a percentage, an amount, a fixed amount on the per transaction, and then on the whole thing there is a GST. So if you are interested in finding out how much GST the member is paying or is being collected by the government on transaction fees, you can run this report. When you click on Excel, it will allow you to kind of mention for which month. So this report is generated for every month. So you can just select a month, type in the year, and it will generate the information for you. Next up is members. So members is it deals with all the members within your club. I'm not sure if there is a zone admin here. You will always have a club switcher here if you're a zone admin. A club switcher allows you to kind of look at each and every club or a zone as a whole. So if you select your zone here, all the members, all the reports that will run, you will run for all members of all the clubs under your zone. If you switch to a club, in that case, the reports will run for that specific club. So each of the reports are, it actually focuses on the club members, and each provide a little bit of a different information, but it all deals with club members. The first, the club members, it will actually show you the first name, last name, membership number, and the memberships that are being held by the club member, when that's due to expire. While the second one will break down, it will actually show you all the members that actually hold a role within your club. Now, roles can be head coach, zone coordinator, a gear checker. JustGo and states and PCA have been in discussions on what club roles are actually available, and I would imagine that it's very soon it's going to be changed a little bit. So officials are going to be turned into qualifications as opposed to having roles.
Beautiful. Nabi, just a quick question on that. If I want to run a report on coaches, which report should I be running?
So in that case, it's so coaches in my club.
Yep.
Yeah, in that case, it will be the role breakdown, because in that instance, it'll show me all the members with a coach role, not a coach qualification, a coach role.
Yeah, but so for they need to be marked as coach in the system to be shown as coach role, correct? But if I'm just want to run a report for coach members, like who has taken the membership of coaches, then which report is suitable? Is it the first one?
No, yeah, a first one can work, club members, but the ideal one would be the membership, club members with all memberships,
Okay.
or club members with active memberships.
Right. I thought
So
it was
it
the first
depends
one
on
because you
state.
can filter them by
Yeah, so
coaches.
it depends on state by state. So for example, Western Australia doesn't have coach membership at club level. So for them, this report will not make a lot of sense. However, for New South Wales, this becomes very relevant. For Western clubs in Western Australia, in that instance, club member with role breakdown makes a lot more sense, because they'll have the coach role.
Yeah. Good.
Did
Thank
you say that second one though was going to be obsolete? The no, not that one. The where you were before, the club membership.
No, that was the credential one that he was talking about.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
Right. Okay. So the other club members one, this goes a bit more in depth. So this actually looks at all the fields that you might have created with field management. We'll have field management training sessions down the line. So field management allows you to create data capture fields. So if you want to ask additional questions, which is PCA is not asking, maybe your state's not asking, but you want to ask, which is relevant to your club only. So those field that question will go in as field management field. So when you run this report, it looks at all the members, it looks at all the fields that you've created, what their answer was, and then pulls that information out of the system for you. The same goes with club members active only. On this one, these two reports are exactly the same, except for this one, it will only look for members who have a valid membership with your club, and only then those members, their information will get pulled out. The next one is club member invites. So if you go onto your club profile or your club members tile, you'll see a button called Add New Members. You'll also see a button called Add Existing Members. So let's say you have a member who you know already has a PCA membership and you want to invite them to your club. In that instance, you can use the Add Existing button and you will get a summary of all the invites that you have sent and if they've accepted it or Member bookings by MID. So where if you are interested in finding out all the events a member has attended, and you want to look it up with membership with their membership number, you can do so with this report. This will pull out all events at the PCA level, at the state level, at the regional, at the zone level, or with any other clubs. So you're able to see a complete event attending history of the member. Next up is club member emergency contact. So this one actually doesn't look at their membership or their addresses. It actually looks at all the emergency contacts they have listed on their member record. So same with membership. This one is actually, these reports are focused on membership. So they do provide some basic details about the members. So it'll provide the first name, last name, membership numbers, but it focuses on memberships. So what memberships they're holding, what the end date is, when actually the memberships are due to expire or has already expired. The first report looks at all club members in your club. And the second one will look at all the members who actually have an active membership with your club. Next up is Teams. So PCA has opted not to use Teams at this point in time, but if you're interested, maybe let Monel know, and Monel can actually, Monel and I can actually set this up. The system allows you to set up teams. Teams are basically groups of club members. You can set up events that goes for teams. So you can register teams onto events, and then report on all the teams that are registered under your club. Now, moving on to customer reports.
Yeah, just give me a second. We'll answer a couple of questions in the chat box, Naveed, if you don't mind.
Sure.
If someone pays a wrong membership or go from non-rider to rider, will they be charged for all the membership a second time? So we have worked with states in implementing the upgrades. So the members will not be charged the full fees, they'll only be charged the difference. So if a person goes from non-riding to riding, in the non-riding membership, PCA fees is not charged. So when they will be purchasing the riding membership, the PCA fees will be fully charged. The state fees will only, the difference will be charged. So for example, New South Wales has $40 for non-riding membership, but a riding membership is $63.50. So the members will only be charged $23.50. The club fees will be charged second time around, but again, the club, you can request the club admin to go into the finance section, as Naveed showed us before, and just refund the previous membership amount. There's also a there's also a guide on membership upgrades, which is available on the PCA resources. The clubs can set those up so that you don't have to be repeatedly do the refunds, and it just automatically takes in the difference, similarly to this to the state and the PCA level. This is similar to zones. So zones also need to, if they're charging membership fees, they also need to set up the membership upgrades. There's a guide again on Pony Club Australia website. If you require any assistance, you can definitely reach out to me, and then I'm more than happy to work with you in setting those up. Yep, go on.
While we're talking on members there, I had a parent doing a membership for a daughter. She had a lot of trouble trying to do it, mind you, but she eventually got it done, and it's ended up being a new membership, but that member actually already has a membership, so she's got two memberships now. What can we do about that? There's two different numbers.
So they got two different profiles. We can merge it. If they got two different memberships under the same profile, that means a junior rider and the adult rider, we can refund the incorrect one and expire it in the system. So if you could just email me all the details on support@ponyclubaustralia.com.au, and I'll look into it for you.
Okay, thanks, Manil.
Not a problem. Beautiful. Kaz, working with children is included in credentials and qualifications. So if you run the report on it, and then you can just filter by working with children, it will show you all the members' information on working with children.
Thank you.
No problem. Beautiful. Nabeed, one question for you. What is Go Cardless?
It's mostly a European offering. Go Cardless allows a person to enter their bank details, so bank account and sort code, as opposed to entering their card details. And the money gets taken directly from the members or the payer's account. This at the moment is not available in Australia for members or for you to collect as a payment method.
Beautiful. Thank you. Is there any other
Can
questions?
Can I just ask a question? Because I'm the one that asked about Go Cardless. If it's not available, why are we getting emails asking us to fill in a form from Go Cardless?
So is it?
I didn't fill them in because I don't know what it. Pardon?
Is it after you've activated JustGo Essential?
Is it after I've activated what?
Your JustGo Essential package.
No, it's after I set up my Stripe account.
So you set up your Stripe account and you're getting an email from Go Cardless?
I am. Do you want?
Yeah, if you could send the email to Monel, maybe we could take a look at the content and maybe advise.
I have a
Might not
feeling
even
I've
be-
got it as well.
Okay.
I'll look.
It might
I
be-
think it's from Stripe, I think.
Yeah, I didn't fill it in because I don't know what it is, and they've sat there since last December because I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Right, yeah, go on, Toby.
Go for it, Monel.
Yeah,
I'll forward
So,
it straight to you now, Manel.
yes, that's what I'm saying, that I'll just put my email down in the chat box, and you can just email it to me, and then I'll forward it them to Nabeed and the co, and they can have a look into it. Thank you so much for bringing it up.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yep, Nabeed, go on.
Yep, awesome. All right, so next up are the customer reports. So I'm actually logged into the live system. So customer reports can be accessed by clicking on customer reports. So the first one that we see are clubs. So this is mostly targeted at states. It's how many clubs have actually affiliated through the system. So as you know, a lot of the states have opted to collect their club affiliation fees through the JustGo platform. So if your state has not required you to do so, then in that case, this report is not relevant. If your state has made it, asked you to do your affiliation through this system, you can actually check your affiliation payment history. For a state, they zone or a state, they run it to look at all the payments that clubs have made throughout the system. Next up is credentials. So this is the horse credentials. So essentially, this is the horse registration. So this is a more targeted report where you can actually use it as a search tool. So it will download all the horse registration within the system, within your club. If you are a zone, in that instance, it will show all the horse registration within your zone. And if you are a state, it will show all the registrations within your state. Just kind of refresh that. Sorry guys, this is a big report. For a state, it should be much faster.
Right. Till that time, I'll answer a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So, yeah, horse registration topic. It worked for someone else.
Do you have questions? You want to answer?
No. Till the time we get back online, does anyone have any other questions?
Yeah, I will.
Yep.
When you first open up the club memberships, there's all the members that have been there for the last 10 years, sort of sitting there, and you have an icon on it that one of them is hide. So when you hide them, do they go to that that report where it says you had all memberships and then active memberships? When you hide them, are they in that first membership report? Where are they?
So the question will be that I think.
So when you go into your club, when you're first setting up the memberships, you've got all the memberships for we had them all for about the last 10 years. Now, some of them have gone to other places, some of them aren't there anymore. And the icon, you put the icon on it, one of the icons says hide. So when you hide them, where do they go?
So I think they still appear in the report, Naveed, the hidden members.
Yeah, they do. When you click on hide, it actually hides the members from your view. So I'm logged into the sandbox system, and I can actually show you. So it's in the club profile. Sorry, I can't see your name. It just shows up as user.
It's Peter. My name's Peter.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. So you're clicking it from the club members tab. From here.
So when you press hide now, where do they go? If you want to see them again, where are they? Or are they just gone forever?
No, they're not gone forever. It's right at this button here. So let's say I hide this member. It's hidden from my default view, but if I click on here, it says view hidden members. All my hidden members will show up here.
Right, thank you.
If you want to unhide, you can do so.
But all the hidden members will appear in when you run the report. So it's just that for your dashboard, they don't appear, but in the reports they will, right?
Good, thank you.
No problem.
All right, let's go on back to finance. Okay, so finance, right? So this one is a custom report. However, this actually only applies to clubs in New South Wales. Fingers crossed that expands to other states. I know Monu is working very hard, but at the moment it only applies to New South Wales. So New South Wales has an active kids program where, for my understanding, $100 voucher is given from the New South Wales government to the members who are under 18. The system, we worked with PCA and New South Wales government and PC New South Wales to actually create a mechanism where JustGo can actually validate these vouchers automatically. So the member that actually goes onto the card, just enters the voucher, and automatically the information goes to New South Wales government. It goes on to JustGo, it goes to the club, it goes to state. If the memberships are actually discounted down, and then the member only pays the difference in total. Yeah, so at the moment it's only available to New South Wales. All right. Next up, we have horse registration. So this is a a lot more targeted report. So this one is, I think, is the one that you can actually use as a search option. So anywhere here, you can actually type in the name of the member, even if it's half, or even if it's the first name or parts of a first name, or member ID, or horse name, or horse registration ID, or a microchip number, or a EA number, and it will pull out all matching information that you have access to. I say you have access to, it means for a club, it will look at all horse registration under your club members. For a zone, it will look at all the horse registration of all the club members under the clubs under your zone. And for a state, it looks at statewide. If you leave it at all, it will download everything under your access parameters. If you want to target it, if you want to search it, just remove one of the alls and then just type it in. Next up is the members tile, members report. So these are the reports that were created specifically for PCA. So the first one looks at all the members and gives you details on all the members who are suspended. It will give you details on if the member was suspended due to a disciplinary reason or due to a medical reason. And I think it will also give you details if it's a disciplinary reason. At the moment, as far as I'm aware, and please, Mono, please correct me if I'm wrong, a suspension can only be applied by a state.
That's correct.
Right. Clubs and zones cannot apply suspension. I believe the process is the club needs to, or the zone needs to contact the state. Next up are the club members, all members, different all members and different all members. So these are the ones. This report shows you the which state and zone the member is under. So it, I think we developed it for better reporting, for better mail merge, for zones and states who want to see which area or which club the member belongs to. Obviously, if you are running this report at a club level, all the names of all the clubs, all the states and the zones for all your members will be the same. If you are a zone, you're running at a zone level, the state and zone name will be the same, but you'll be able to see which member belong to which club. All members with fields, again, it's the same report as the previous one. It actually shows same information, but it also includes all the fields you've created with field management. And the fourth one, all members with fields, active membership, it looks at, it's exactly this report, but it actually filters out members who don't actually have a membership at the moment. So it only shows you members who hold an active membership with your club. The member search is basically a search of all the members. So this is not limited to your club. Most of the reports will be limited to all the club members or all the members of the zone. But this one looks at all the members within PCA. So literally every member within PCA. So you can actually use it to look up details of a member. Just to note, you'll need to match at least two of these results. So you need to make sure the first name or the email address is correct, or the surname and the first name is correct, or the membership ID and the first name is correct, or the state or the membership ID is correct. So at least two of the information needs to be correct. And it will scour the system of all the matching results and give you an output. Last one is all transfers. So it gives you a list of all the members who are transferring in or who have transferred out of the system. So with different columns, it should give you historic and recent results. It should also give you members who are awaiting transfer out or into your club.
Okay. Just on that, all transfers, a couple of the clubs, please use it. I couldn't remember which club requested it to be there, but it's there now. So just use it. Let us know if there's any fields are required or if anything is missing, and then we can just go back to developers and try to work it out. Member search is similar to the global search that we used to have in the OSM system, where you can look up member to find out if the member is financial or not. It just gives you basic information of member ID, first name, last name, and the membership they hold.
All right. The next up are the shop reports. We've got 2 reports at the moment, so it's dependent on the reports that are relevant to you is dependent on how you're actually configuring the shop. I would imagine for most clubs, it will be the top one, shop report. So it will look at all the shops in that you have configured, and it will give you an output of all the bookings or all the orders that have come into your shop. As you know, a shop can be used, the pass button can be used to recognize that product has been dispatched or handed over to the member, while booked orders are essentially orders that are booked and have not been distributed or have not been sent to the post office or is not on the way on its way or has not been processed. So it looks at everything under all your shops. So as you know, you're able to create multiple shops. So all the shops, it looks at everything and then all the orders and gives you a report of everything. Upsell product is mostly for clubs who are upgrading to Pro, because you can put upsell products within a membership you're offering or in the ticket journey. So because the purchases are outside of the shop or not under the shop jurisdiction, that's why we wanted to create a separate report out for it. I think that covers all the reports, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Beautiful. So Cass, with the affiliation, can we see who from our zone has entered into a state event? Nabeed, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we have a report where you can see what events the participants has joined in. Unless you are the event organizer, you won't be able to see which members are joining or signing up to which event.
So club administrator, you're asking about a club administrator?
I'm a zone administrator.
Oh, hi. Yep. Okay. So as a zone administrator, you want to see if a member has joined any of the club?
At the stated level. So if they join a state event, we then need to make sure that they know what uniforms and everything they need for the state event, and it needs to be fed back down. So to apply for a state level, a state event in New South Wales, they still need to have the go ahead from the zone level to be able to join that event, like just to say from our ZCI that yes, they are able to compete in that event because they have reached that level. But then once they've entered, we don't know, unless we've got to wait until state then send it all back out to us. I was just wondering if there is a way that it can be fed back through to notify us that people have entered in at a state event. If that makes sense.
It does. So because of data privacy, the only report I can actually offer you is the members' bookings by MID. So you'd need to look up each member individually if you know their membership number. But a state would need to, so if you're trying to look at for all the members within your zone under that have booked onto a specific state event, then I would imagine the state admin would need to send you the details. The state admin has access to different reports.
Mhm.
They can run it all in one go.
Yeah.
And then I'd imagine they'll need to grant you access manually or send you the names and membership.
Yeah, I was just wondering if there was an easier way that fed back down so that, you know, you're sort of notified as soon as somebody had entered from your zone to compete at your zone sort of thing, at the zone level too, in a state event. But that's okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, but it's Peter again. Monal, when you have an answer on Go Cordless, Go Cardless, sorry, can you let it be known somehow by sending out an email or putting something up on the website, please?
For the events, are you able to link a horse to an event yet, or is that still coming?
I believe that is still in process.
Yep.
So at the moment, you're able to collect. So with field management, you can create fields to collect information in the booking. So we would encourage using that now, maybe asking for horse registration ID or things like that. Every horse registration has a separate ID, individual unique ID. So maybe you could collect that. And then once it is available, I'm sure Monil is itching to send out an email to all club administrators.
Cool, cool, cool. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so if there's no more questions, we'll end the session here. Thank you all club administrators and zone administrators for attending. And hopefully we'll see you on the next one. I think the next one, the one next week, I think it's on, I think it's going to be on field management. So we've got some interesting thing happening. So hopefully you'll have the time and you'll be available to join.
Thank you.
Thanks a bit.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.